Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. Boy, we're having fun in studio here. Bubba Spencer and his wife, Amy Snyder, didn't bring a dog. I thought they might bring a dog in here with them because they've got a few of those. I'm not sure how many they've got. We'll have to ask them in a little while. And horses. Y'all got some horses too, don't you? Well, we got a guy on the line right now as a horse when it comes to bass fishing. One of our favorite guys. He loves to grit and grind and do those certain kind of things. And he's from East Tennessee, and that's our good friend Ott Defoe. Good morning, Ott.
Morning, Larry. How are you?
Oh, doing great, buddy. And I always like to talk fishing with you. And I know that this is grind time. I mean, you're getting ready to. What's your schedule right now? I know you said you were at the Legends up there in Springfield with the golf guys and things along that line. So what's next for you?
Yeah, we start practice Monday morning over here in Oklahoma. I'm already out here for the Elite Series. Our next event right out here on Grand Lake in Oklahoma.
Uh-huh.
And then after it's over with, we'll immediately go to Kentucky Lake in Paris, Tennessee for our next events. We've got these 2 weeks coming up back to back, Grand Lake and then Kentucky Lake. So should be two really good events.
Boy, you can't go from two different kinds of venues, though. I mean, that's one of those things that people are always asking the pro bass fishermen, like you guys, how do you – versatility is really important, isn't it?
Yeah, it absolutely is. Yeah, I mean, those lakes are vastly different and different kind of fishing, from one to the next. And that's – you got to be able to do it all. A lot of times you can be really good at something and ride it most of the year, but you'll eventually have to change up here and there and – kind of when in Rome, do as the Romans kind of thing. But a lot of times you can take what you like and work with it, but other times you got to certainly change it up.
Well, I know I'm thinking back, and you've been on this show several times, and if I'm not mistaken, you were like 12 when you was in your first tournament or something like that, right?
My first tournament, I was 9.
9.
Started on the FLW tour at 20. So been at it a while.
So go ahead, tell me, how old are you now?
32.
Wow, man, I thought you at least 75 or so.
You would think so. The amount of hair I have, that's about what it looks like.
I did not. I wasn't bringing that up at all. I didn't want to bring that up at all. You brought it up because I guess you were born with hair. I can't help you after that, and everything.
No, but ain't much I can do for this. It's just hereditary. That's the way it's going to be.
Well, tell our listeners out there. I know our good friends at Rapala set this interview up, and I've always been real close to those guys. Ryan Martinez talking about that. In a career like you've had, and man, I tell you what, you've had some great moments and things along that. Bassmaster Rookie of the Year, 2011. That probably seems like forever. Second in the Angler of the Year standings in 2012. Talk about your career and how important people are like Rapala and some others.
Yep, absolutely. Having great partners, great sponsors, like Rapala, like Bass Pro Shops, so many of my sponsors that I've been with for several years now, having those people behind you, when you're having a good tournament, anybody's liable to get behind you. But when you have a bad one or, maybe a few bad ones together, those people who still continue to support you through that, those are the people that, they're not just a company whose baits I use. I mean, they're friends and they're people that, that I've built relationships with and I'm very thankful for. And they make it to where you can call this a living.
That's right.
I mean, if it was just the tournaments and stuff, not that you can't make a living that way, but man, it would sure be a lot more stressful and a lot less fun. But being able to have those people that you can work with and, great baits to use and great products to use, certainly does make it a lot easier.
Well, how's the family doing? I always ask that. I don't know too many of you guys on the pros out there got twins, but tell me how the kids are doing, and to talk a little bit about being a pro and leaving home and going back and forth. You guys are on the road, so I don't know how many miles you ever figured out how much you travel in 1 year. But when you got your daughter and you got the twins, Parker and Elizabeth, I think.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Talk about that as a family man.
Yeah, that is the single hardest part of my job is leaving them at home. Thankfully, in the summer they're able to to come with me a good bit. So that's always fun to have them at the events. And this year the Classic fell on spring break for them, so they were able to be there the whole time.
Oh, right.
And that was definitely great. And it's nice. Feel bad for them when we're at the tournaments because I'm there, but I'm not. I'm gone all day, daylight to nearly dark. So it's not like we get to spend a lot of time. But those couple hours in the evening when they are there, it sure is nice to get to come in and have dinner with them and spend some time then, as a family. So
how old are they? How old are your kids now?
Yep, Abby is she's 10, and Parker and Elizabeth are 6, which their birthdays are all in June. So they'll be 11 and 7 coming up here pretty soon.
So they know what you do.
They do, yeah.
They got an inkling of.
They really like it.
Get paid to go fishing. Is that what you tell them? You get paid to go fishing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they really like it and pretty excited about it anymore, and I think it's pretty neat what their dad does.
Now your connection with Rapala, whatever you want to call it, those guys have been good to you, haven't they?
Yeah, Rapala's a great company to work with, and they're one of those companies that want angler input on a lot of stuff, and that certainly helps them to make better products. And that's a very enjoyable part of my job is getting to make things that are new or different or tweaks on baits that we can improve. They are a great company to work with.
So do you get to name the baits? I loved, and that would be my job. Here's Greg Ratliff, and they're all laughing at me in here because if I could ever work for a bait company, I'd want to be the guy that names the baits. So listen, this is all right. All you out there, all you listeners out there, listen. This is what Ott may throw in the water. He may throw a rip and wrap, which I don't give a rip and wrap for it sometimes. I mean, the rip and wrap, the Rapala slab wrap, and the Storm Arashi Vibe.
Yep.
Those are baits?
Yep. Those are definitely baits. The slab wrap, it's a pretty small bait, so it's not one I use much for bass fishing.
But you use that rip and wrap, don't you?
The rip and wrap I use, and the Storm that Arashi Vibe. Those are both lipless crankbaits, and this is the time of year that a lipless crankbait can be really, really effective. They're good at covering those flats where those bass stage up pre-spawn, and man, they're great baits. Those lipless crankbaits are, and both of those, the rip and wrap, and even the rattling wrap, the original lipless crankbait from Rapala, but all those that lipless crankbait style of baits, and that newest one, that Storm Arashi Vibe is one it's unique in the sound that it has and the action it has. That's an outstanding lipless crankbait.
Well, anything. Well, I don't know what the Storm Arashi Vibe. It's got to be a cool one for the pre-spawn bass. And I got to ask you this: everybody knows you're Ott, okay?
Yeah.
Now, I don't guess anybody calls you Arthur, right? I mean,
only Jenny when I'm in trouble.
Oh, that's what that's when you're in trouble, huh? When they call you Arthur,
right.
When it gets down. So what's ahead for you, Arthur?
Exactly.
What's up next? Now you say you're heading to Oklahoma, so talk a little bit about that, and we'll let you get out of here and get back to your family. So talk a little bit about this next tournament.
Yeah, Grand Lake over here in Oklahoma. It's setting up with the weather we've got. We've got some little bit more stable weather and kind of a slight warming trend coming in. So I expect it to be really good fishing. Grand's an excellent lake, and I really think it should be doing really good. One thing I want to mention before we leave is the TV show I've got out on the Outdoor Channel right now. We've already had a few episodes premiere, but it's called The Hunt for Monster Bass. And
I love it. Yeah.
It's a TV show that's come out. We've got 10 episodes total. I think three or four may have aired already, but it premieres Monday night at 7:30 on the Outdoor Channel.
On the Outdoor Channel.
Watching it, be sure to tune in.
Ott Defoe has made the big time now. You're on TV, Ott. I mean, that's a long way from 9 years old and back there going. I think you told me about your trip with your dad, Bud, and your mom, Erica, going to Okeechobee, and now look where you are. Yeah, you. We're proud of you over in Memphis, buddy.
Well, thank you.
All right. Well,
I appreciate it, Larry.
Thank you, bud. And we'll talk to you. And I don't believe in luck. Just go catch a few over there, okay?
That sounds good. We'll do it.
We'll talk again. All right. Ott Defoe. All right. I just love, I like people named Ott. I don't know why. I like Mel Ott. He used to play baseball. I don't, you know that, don't you? I got a grunt out of one member of my panel here, but that's a long time ago. But Ott Defoe, he's the everyday fisherman, kind of like that guy that lives over in Marion. I can't think of his name right now.
He moved.
Rubs his head. Well,
he's moved.
He's moving to his 90-acre.
He's in West Memphis now. But he's moving probably again, I think.
He's building his house. Yeah. He's in West Memphis now.
We're talking about Mark Rose, folks.
Yeah. We're talking about Mark Rose. But he is one of those guys.
But you really like to name fishing lures, I know.
Yeah, I know it. I would like to name fishing lures.
You've always talked about
I always wanted to, they're cool names.
You could do that, and you could do duck calls, too.
I could do that, too, couldn't I? I didn't think about that.
Naming duck calls is a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, okay. All right, take a break. Come right back. We got a full house in here. We got Amy Snyder. We got Bubba Spencer. And, of course, Guy Trebo, the webmaster's over there checking out his cell for...
He's working.
He is working right now?
He's working right now.
All right. You are, too. This is your day off. Well, that stumps him. All right, we'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.